I'm going to show you what I think is the best way to buy Bitcoin, and that is recurring buys, whether that's daily, weekly, or monthly, with zero fees and free withdrawals. And if that checks all the boxes for you like it did for me, let me introduce you to River, a Bitcoin-only exchange that allows you to do all of that and more. This is not a sponsored video. I was actively looking for a way to do this because I didn't like the exchange I was using before. And after a ton of research and comparisons, River is where I settled. And if you want to follow along with this video and get started, the link is down in the description below and the pinned comment. So we're going to get this set up first. Then I'll show you some of the other exchanges that are competitors to River and why I decided to use this one. We'll also go over why dollar cost averaging or recurring buys can be the best way and lowest risk way to get exposure to any asset. And then before we wrap up, I'm going to show you some real world examples of how I used dollar cost averaging in the past and what those transactions cost me and what they are worth now all these years in the future for Bitcoin. But click the link down in the description, down in the pinned comment for River. It's going to bring you right here, and then you're going to go up in the upper right-hand corner and hit sign up. Provide all your information and link a way to buy. I did my bank accounts, and then we're ready to get started. And that brings us right exactly to where I am right now. My account is set up, but I have not yet started investing in Bitcoin. So I figured we'd do that together. So I'm going to hit start investing, buy Bitcoin. And I'm not going to do a one-time purchase. Instead, I want to do recurring buys. And then you can see right here, it has zero fees after the first week. And it allows me to do this hourly, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. What I'm going to choose, what works best for me, is I'm going to do bi-weekly. So every 2 weeks, it's going to buy, for me, $20 of Bitcoin. And I have my bank accounts linked right here. I'm going to choose this one. Preview order. So this is going to buy Bitcoin every 2 weeks, $20 worth. I have the fee only on the first buy, which is a low 20 cents. And that's it. I'm ready to go. Let's place order. Account setup complete. It is done. There it is, bought Bitcoin. You can see my account value is $19.74. It's debited my bank account, and the Bitcoin is sitting right here on River's website on the exchange. A little bit more on that in just a second. But what they probably do here is they probably charge a little bit of a spread because they got to make money somehow. And so the price they charge for Bitcoin is probably a little higher than what the market price of Bitcoin is in that exact moment. I think that's fine. They got to make money one way or another. I'd prefer that, because they all do that, by the way, than having to pay any fees for transactions, trades, or withdrawals. So let's talk about withdrawals. One of the things that I really like as we go over to account here is the ability to do automatic withdrawals. So how this works, because you really don't want your money sitting on an exchange, is you want to get it off into self-custody, preferably cold storage like a hardware wallet, a Ledger, a Trezor, a Tangent, whatever there is that you might have. And so what you can do here is you can set up an automatic free withdrawal once a month when your Bitcoin balance reaches a certain threshold. So once it hits that threshold, it's going to withdraw automatically to whatever address you enter here. And you also have an option to keep a little bit of Bitcoin on River when that happens. Maybe you want to use it to trade, whatever other reasons you might want to use it, you can have that option as well. But this is free once a month. So again, wrapping all that up, dollar cost averaging, recurring buys is free after the first week, and it is free to withdraw once a month. And you can use an automatic withdrawal, making this really just completely hands off for me. So I still have to set this up. I got to determine what I want my actual threshold to be over on River. But that's it. I wanted to do that with all of you. And if that's interesting to you, go ahead and click the link again to get started. I guess one other feature I've been considering using on River is the ability to add cash and have them hold my cash. And they're going to pay me interest in Bitcoin, 3.8%, as I'm making this video. Though I'm a little concerned about that because they're not a bank. So they're not FDIC insured. So if my cash went missing, like that's it. It's gone. Just like if my Bitcoin went missing. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet. Let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments section below. Now, I mentioned I looked into a few other options that were recommended to me before I settled on River, and one of them was Swan. So just in case River doesn't work out for you, here's another one you can explore where you can buy Bitcoin with no fees on your first $10,000. And after that, it's only 0.99%. And then withdrawals are also free and they have the automatic withdrawal option, just like on River. The one that I think mirrors River more than Swan is going to be Strike, another one that is recommended highly in the community. You can do the same free DCA after the first week, and it has free automatic withdrawals which were announced recently. So another really great option if River doesn't work out for you. I'll have links for all these down in the video description and the pinned comment below. So let's talk a little bit more around dollar cost averaging. And I actually really like how Coinbase defines it here on their learning website. It says dollar cost averaging, DCA, is a strategy that involves allocating a fixed amount of resources to a particular asset at regular intervals, regardless of its price. And that's exactly what we're doing with these recurring buys. And this is in contrast to a lump sum buy. And let's get an example going here. So let's say that you had $10,000. A lump sum buy would be if you just bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin at its current price. Now, if Bitcoin goes up dramatically from there, you would do really well. But if it goes down dramatically, you're going to do not so well because your $10,000 will be worth instantly less. Now, the dollar cost averaging approach to this would, let's say you had that $10,000 and instead of buying all at once, you broke it down into $100 buys over 100 days. And this really limits the impact that the volatile Bitcoin market can have on your investment. And so over a long enough time, what Bitcoin has proven to do is go up in value. And over a long enough time, you're really hedging your risk in doing recurring buys versus a lump sum buy. So everybody's got their own opinions on this. Do what feels right to you, but this is what I do. And this has always worked out really well for me. So I thought we'd do is have a little bit of fun and take a look at this in practice. And this is going back in my portfolio back to January 2019. We're using the Delta app where I track all of my cryptocurrency and my investments. I'll have a link for this down in the description below as well. But you can see back in 2019, I was buying Bitcoin $50 around every week or so. When I could remember to do it, I was doing it manually at this time. And that $50 is now worth $1,466, up 2,833%. And then you can see about a week or 2 weeks after that, I did another $50 buy. Again, buying Bitcoin at $3,544, worth now that $50 over $1,500. And I was doing some mining and doing some silly things back then too, but this one worked out well for me, where I was mining a cryptocurrency called Grin at the time, and I sold that $25 of it right into Bitcoin, which turned that $25 all these years later into $750. And really, that just kind of goes on and on from here. You can see some more recurring buys, some more silly mining things that I was doing. But the point is that this can work out really well over a long period of time. And there's certainly buys that were much higher than that. I think when I started getting into Bitcoin, my probably first buy was almost around $20,000, but I just kept with it over time. The other thing that's great about dollar cost averaging is you can turn it on and off whenever you'd like. So if the market's going down, maybe you want to adjust, buy more frequently. Maybe the market's coming up, going up a lot in value. You want to turn it off and pause it for a little bit. I've certainly played those strategies as well. But I do think it's a great strategy, and I'm stoked to find exchanges like River that allow you to do it for what I found the absolute cheapest way. But if you have other options, please let me know down in the comment section. It's something that you do. I want to hear from you. Is there an exchange that I didn't cover that I haven't found yet that's even better? Let me know that as well. And remember that the links for all of this stuff is down in the video description and the pinned comment below if you want to get started. And if you stumbled upon this video and you have a gaming PC at home, and you want to start mining Bitcoin too, I have a video on the screen right here. It's the easiest way, I think, to get started mining Bitcoin. And that's really the name of the game. How can we get more and more Bitcoin? Hope you enjoyed the video. Like button if you did, sub to the channel. Please take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you in the next video.